is not all doom and gloom, and paints the picture in terms of our state of the nation.
Emefa, thank you. Finally, I get a chance. But before I proceed, let me just use this opportunity as a son of the Gan state, Gandangme boy, son of the land, to state emphatically that the comments made by Professor Audrey Gajepo that there are Gan cultures or traditions that support homosexuality are not just false, but very, very derogatory. And the Gan state takes strong exception to those. If she doesn't have evidence, she should be very careful the things she says about the Gan state. Now, onto the State of the Nation's address. It's important to state that the president clearly is lost and at sea when it comes to the State of the Nation. He doesn't understand what's going on. He's checked out as president of the country. And like was rightly stated in Parliament, you have a driver Banza and a mate who is interested in chopping chobo. Driver Banza, Wekun Krofoma, he's actually killed Ghanaians. Over 19 Ghanaians lost their lives at the renal unit of Kolibu simply because we could not pay 4 million Ghana cedis. And this was at the time that we had paid $2 million, which is equivalent at today's exchange rate of 26 million Ghana cedis for a phantom project called the Sky Train. This is also at the same time we spent $12 million on Ejapa when there was actually nothing to be benefited by the Ghanaian state. This is also at a time where we've lost $2 billion thanks to the PDS scam. Meanwhile, we are with cupping hand begging the IMF for just about 1.3 billion. When the president says that the La General Hospital is going to be completed in 28 months, yes, it's a this is the same president who on the 17th of August 2021 in commissioning the Agenda 111 hospitals said they will be completed in 12 months. This is the same president who made a commitment through his finance minister that will be commissioning the National Cathedral on the 6th of March 2024. The 6th of March is in 4 days' time. So, MFA, let me, on behalf of His Excellency, invite you and Pemka next week, Wednesday, for us to commission the National Cathedral on the 6th of March.
Mischief detectors.
The president, there's no mischief, I'm just quoting the president. The president went to visit victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage and told them that he has not minded them because they don't vote for him. And people said, "Oh, it was a slip."
It didn't say so. That was not how the president put it.
However, he said it. That was the import. Was that not the import? He said they don't vote for him.
No.
Yes or no? Did he say they don't vote for him?
No.
Yes. MFR. People said, "Oh, his spokesperson came and said, oh, we are misconstruing it." No. When he came to do the State of the Nation's address, the biggest disaster in the past year since he came to Ghanaians is the floods and the Volta Basin floods. When the explosion happened at Apiase, he mentioned it in that year's State of the Nation address.
That I agree that my people needed some.
But he failed because he doesn't consider them worthy of mention.
No.
Look, let me tell you something. And one of these days, I would take my time to show how it is human negligence that led to the Volta Dam spillage because they knew. The engineers at VRA knew. I will give you dates and all of that, but that's a different conversation will come. But clearly the president does not regard, mind you, the president dispatched his mates, Aplanke Baumia, to go to Sierra Leone with $1 million of our taxpayers' money and relief items when there was flooding in Sierra Leone. Yet the president thinks that the people of the Volta Basin, this affected 13 constituencies, even people up north. The president did not speak about it. As for Galamsey, the president's party is the biggest purveyor and perpetrator of Galamsey. Persons in the NPP, national executives of the NPP, are the biggest purveyors of Galamsey. They are destroying our water bodies. How can he speak against his own party? You've forgotten what his party's first vice chairman, who is now a parliamentary candidate, said. Party here, Sika. They need money. How can he speak against it? Wait, let me even wait before I go to unemployment. Corruption. How would President Akufo-Addo speak about corruption? I have always stated that President Akufo-Addo and his government are the biggest beneficiaries of corruption and political corruption. You can't run away from it. Corruption has fought President Akufo-Addo, floored him on the ground, and is spitting on him on the ground. He cannot speak about corruption, and that's why the president was silent about corruption. Because from the presidency down to the district level, which is the lowest level of the centralized government system, is all saddled with corruption. You were kicked out of government because you refused to be part of the corrupt practices at the Attorney General's department.
I disclaim this. I'm not passing. I know nothing about that.
The game, he and his former boss have been kicked out.
I know nothing
you
about
understand
that.
me? Let me tell you something. Let's call a spade a spade. The president
He's issued a disclaimer.
Oh, but why not? He's a parliamentary candidate for his party right now, else they will come after him. But listen, the president and his government have worn corruption as a rope, and they are gleefully dancing in the faces of Ghanaians with it. If we want to talk about corruption and who is corrupt, the person the president appointed as his first special prosecutor said President Akufo-Addo is the mother serpent of corruption. The current special prosecutor is crying.
And that has been disputed.
He is crying and speaking about the fact that he's been impeded by elements of government.
He talks about the judiciary. He's raised concerns about judiciary, not elements in government.
Wait. He raised his issues about the judiciary, which exists, and also raised the fact that the same issues Martin, what's his name? The first one. Martin Amidu raised about funding for his office. And when he did, what did we not see? The president's boys at the Flagstaff House decided to come and attack him and say that he had ordered for a bulletproof vehicle. Yes or no? Am I lying?
Because they raised issues about luxury vehicles that he wanted.
That was the president's response to the claim that he is not funding the office that has been set up on unemployment. MFR. The president could not say a word on unemployment. When his mates,
but he talks about 1D1F, for instance. Wait, he talks about 1D1F on page 25 and the number of projects they've undertaken in that sector and the 170,000 jobs created.
MFA, the president, his mates, who he has picked, who he says is the best presidential candidate the NPP has ever had, meaning Kufuor and he himself, do not even cut the mold. I don't know, maybe best in line or something. Maybe he could be right. But his mates said they had created 2.3 million jobs. Yet the president could not speak about unemployment. The president look, when the president spoke about numbers relative to jobs, he said 600,000 self-employed people had registered with SNIT. Again, a lie by the president. Because the Director General of SNIT the previous week had said 60,000 people. But before you mentioned 1D1F. When the president was talking about 1D1F and promising 1D1F, they said they were going to build factories in every community. In fact, Anthony Abayi-Fakabo told us that there will be dog meat factories in some constituencies. They had this chart with every district and the factory that will be created there. Today, when the president is thanking people for 1D1F, he is thanking Kasapreko. Kasapreko, which was there before he came, which was there after.
His thanks to Kasapreko was on the after and going to Kenya. That was exactly why Kasapreko was thanked.
But Kasapreko is now 1D1F. B5 is now 1D1F. NS Chemist and Co are all 1D1F. These are all factories that existed before them. But MFA, let me show you what the figures say. In 2016, when President Mahama was handing over, President Mahama didn't make noise about 1D1F, even though we had supported over the setup of over 60 factories. Listen, in the industry sector in 2016, the economy grew by 4.3%. In 2023, the industry sector grew by negative 1.2%. In manufacturing, and in 2016, it grew by positive 7.9%. In 2023, it grew by negative 1.0%. When you come to the construction sector, in 2016, grew by positive 8.4%. In 2023, it grew by negative 5%.
Why are you comparing only 2023 and 2023? That's disingenuous.
No.
Why are you picking only 2023 and comparing with 2023?
The SONA speaks about 2023.
No, but that's compared.
I am picking figures from the budget. The 2024 budget will give you 2024 figures. It gives you 2023 figures. And I'm picking the last budget figures in 2017, which gave the 2016 figures. So the two figures I am mentioning are figures given by
why not talking about 2017, 18, and 19?
The then Minister for Finance, now Minister for Finance International. Kenneth Foriata, he gave us the figures in 2017 and 2024, and those are the figures I'm using. So it shows you that even when the president says macroeconomic indicators are looking forward, it's not true. Look, they say we should praise them that inflation has come down from 54%. But wait, who took it to 54%?
Okay. Well, let me take some messages. Let me take some messages. Wrap up.
Let me wrap up. In December 2022, Our debt to GDP.
6 minutes, you did 9.
Our debt to GDP was 56%. In December 2016, our debt to GDP was 56%. In 2022, 103%. Now you are telling me that we should thank you because inflation has dropped from 54%.
Let's take some.
When we handed over to you,
let's take messages. Let's take messages.
The only thing I agree with him on is that the time you've given us is not enough.
Well, let's do some messages there.